Welcome, Robin Welling. You are president of the European Solar Thermal Industry Federation, and you are managing director of the Austrian collector manufacturer and turnkey supplier TSUN. On this conference, Eurosun, you will take part in a discussion which is called Solar Energy in Europe in the current market development situation. You are president since 6 years, so what have changed in Brussels ever since?
Well, a lot have changed because I believe that the market is like more than 50% down. If I compare it to my first period as STIF president, which was my first election was in 2006. So we've been through very good times, 2008 for instance, but since 2008 basically we see strongly declining markets, which to my opinion was caused by a lot of factors, but one main factor is the driver in this industry, and nobody believed me when I told a lot of people about that in Staffelstein a couple of years ago, that the fossil fuel prices play a role, and they do, and they still do, and well, today it's a very exciting day because since a lot of months, at least fossil fuel prices start growing, or increasing. So we hope that recovers a little bit our market levels.
I think you had one vision when you started as president. This was bridging the activities of STIF, which is solar thermal based, to the other renewable heat associations as well as the heating industry. Was this strategy successful?
Yes, well, we are in Brussels. Our office is on the same floor with the two other renewable heating and cooling technologies, geothermal and biomass. So that we have a joint voice. I even went into sessions with high-level events in Brussels representing the other two associations, so geothermal and biomass, even with the presence of Sefcovic and Cagnette and Ristori. So that voice was made clear. The cooperation with or building the bridges between the classical heating associations like PDH and EHI has been done. So we are in a daily conversation with EHI and BDH. EHI needs us because for them it's very difficult to make a strong point for a single technology. Or, for instance, make a strong voice about centralization or not centralization of the heating and cooling market, which STIF in a lot of circumstances can do better. So we communicate in our board. We have a major boiler manufacturer named BDR Tamiya, which is a very big player in Europe, part of the top 5. And as a second board member, we have Lothar Breidenbach from BDH today, and so I think the bridge has been built, and I'm very happy about that. I would, of course, hope that the classical boiler manufacturers would financially support STIF a little bit more, because if somebody wants to know in Brussels from political side something about solar heating and cooling, they come to STIF, and so I think we need to be better supported by them. But
okay. I think we have a very special year this year in Brussels because a lot of the directives are renewed. So which strategies or implementation suggestions have STIF for these new drafted directives?
Well, we know that in a lot of cases in the strategy papers of the European Commission, solar thermal has been perceived very positive and very as an existing technology, which could really make the difference. But unfortunately, we are not the only advocating association in Brussels. Others did a very good job, especially if we look at the plans for the electrification of the heating and cooling market, which is a nice plan, but to my opinion not feasible. And another point is the centralization of the heating and cooling market, which make it more sexy for governments, but definitely not for single consumers, because their individuality on heating and cooling will be lost, and so that it's challenging, and most probably this will lead for solar thermal to a centralization of larger solar thermal installations, like we see it in Denmark on district heating. That will definitely spread some wings within Europe, yes.
I think solar thermal is the only technology which doesn't have a global voice. That means a global council or a unified association council. Do you have plans for that?
Uh, no, not yet. We have been in discussions a couple of years ago, and of course it's very interesting to see what's happening on global certification, because that in some way links it to a global association. There has been 3 years ago some voices that we would need that. The problem is just, if we already suffer to get industry support within Europe, how can we have support by global players? Who is a global player in solar thermal? There's hardly any companies. So I would be very interested in having conversations on this topic, because I believe that we could find some lobby levels where a global voice would be interesting. And of course, backed up by countries such as India, Brazil, China, where we still have growing markets. I believe we could make some good floor for solar thermal globally.
Okay, thank you. Have a nice conference.
Thank you very much.